Morning, my dear children. Good morning to all of you. So hope you all are doing fine, right? Yes. So let's begin today's class. Very good. So today's class we are going to deal with the crops other than food crops. Okay. So we can cultivate not only food crops, we can cultivate other crops also. For example, we can cultivate flowers. That process is called floriculture. You can see from the picture that in a large area of land, different varieties of flowers are grown and they are well protected and they are sent for the reasonable price. Okay, so this is what is happening in floriculture. Next example is tea plantation. In a large area of land, we will cultivate tea plants. Okay, you can see in many places like Munnar and all, you can see the tea plantation. I think all have noticed that. Yes. So, in such a way that we can obtain the tea plant, it can be sent to the factories. They may be available in powdered form and sent to us. So this is about tea plantation. The next one, we can cultivate ornamental plants or medicinal plants. Ornamental plants is used for decorating purposes. Here is the picture of different types of ornamental plants. And also medicinal plants is also available. Where people are growing medicinal plants and selling at some reasonable prices and all. So we can do that also. Other than this all, we can cultivate cotton, jute and coir. So we can deal with each one. First one is cotton. Cotton is cultivated mainly in India. Okay, and we get this cotton and seeds from the cotton balls. See children, here is the picture of the cotton ball. Okay, you can see from this we are extracting the cotton and seeds. And the oil obtained from the seeds is used for many industrial purposes. Okay, and also we can obtain thread from the cotton. See, here is the picture of how to obtain a thread from the cotton. Clear? So this is about cotton, and next one is about jute. Jute is that India is the biggest producer of jute, and jute is obtained from the stem of the plant. Okay, so you can see the picture of the jute plant. From its stem we are obtaining the fibers. Fibers means thread-like structures are called fibers. Okay. So first what we will do means we will soak it in the water. Jute plants, you can see from the picture that the the jute plants are soaking in the water for some time so that the stem will become soft, so that they can easily remove the fibers from the jute plant. From the stem of the jute plant, they can easily remove the fibers. So you can see from the picture how they are removing the jute fibers. And this jute fibers you can use for many purposes, we can make sack. Rice sack is an example for jute, and many bags, handbags made of jute is available nowadays. Okay, so you have this is about how to obtain the jute fibers. Now next one is coir. Coir is used for different purposes, for making mats. Okay, especially it is used for making mats and ropes. Coir is obtained from the outer husk of the coconut. see, when you buy a coconut, at first when it falls from the tree, coconut tree, there will be a hard shell. Inside that only there will be coconut, and we have to remove that, right? So when we remove that hard shell, that is called the husk of the coconut. See from the picture, this is the husk of the coconut. From this we are getting coir. This is the coir, picture of the coir, and this coir is used for making mats and ropes. So other than food crops, we can cultivate cotton, jute and coir. Is it clear? Yes. Now next one we are going to deal with integrated farming. What is integrated farming? All of you look at this picture. From the picture we can see that next section is about integrated farming. Now we can look what is this integrated farming. All of you look at this picture. From this picture you can see that a paddy field is there, then a cow shed is there, fish is being grown, fish pond is there, vegetable farming is there, and near the vegetable farming there is some waste deposits which is called slurry. Slurry means it's a good manure, the waste of many animals, as well as the coal, the cement, everything mixed together. See, this is the picture of slurry. Okay, so it is like a mixture, liquid gel like mixture it is. So you can see a slurry over there, and you can see a woman standing near a container. You know what is inside that container? It contains the waste from the kitchen, vegetable waste. And this vegetable waste is very useful, that it can produce gas from it after it decomposes. It can produce gas from it, which is called biogas, and this biogas is used for cooking purposes. So you can see a tube connected to the house. So for cooking purposes, instead of relying on the cylinders, you can directly use this biogas as cooking fuel. So you can notice that from this picture that all the farming, more than one farming is done in one particular land area. They didn't choose any other separate land area. All are happening in a single land area. So this is called integrated farming. A combination of, integration means a combination of more than one farms. It is called integrated farming. Okay? Now how it is helpful? That is the next question. From your textbook, you can see some questions. Do you notice the picture? Okay, and down you can see how are cattle rearing and paddy cultivation related. Cattle rearing means we are protecting and taking care of the cattle for their many useful products like milk, like cow dung. Cow dung is a good manure for the plants to grow. We have learned in the previous class. So how this paddy cultivation and cattle rearing are related? In the picture you can see the paddy field and a cow shed. You know children, the cow dung, it provides a good manure for the paddy to grow. Okay, because cow dung contains all the essential nutrients for the plants to grow. And what does this paddy do? The straw or the bran, this can be used as a food for this cattle like cow, buffalo, etc. Straw, this is the picture of the straw from a paddy grain, from a paddy. And this is the bran, okay, this is the bran you obtained by husking, that is removing the paddy, outer covering of the paddy. If you remove the outer covering of the paddy grains, you will get a bran. See, this is the picture of the bran. So this bran and paddy straw will serve as a food for this cattle, so that they will yield more cow dung and milk products, so that the cow dung can be used for the paddy field to grow. So this is how they two are related. Now the next question is, how are the organic waste from the homes and agricultural fields utilized? Organic waste means our vegetable waste, okay, and the waste from the agricultural fields. I told you that there are vegetables farming going on in that picture. So this waste, I told you, it can be used as biogas. You can see a container in that picture. So we'll put all the waste into it, and when it decomposes, it produces a gas that is called biogas, and this will provide a cooking fuel. Hope that is clear to you. Now we can move on to the third question. What can be the use of slurry formed after the production of biogas? I told you, near the vegetable farm you can see some waste product over there near the vegetable farm. This is slurry. Slurry is a very good manure. It contains all the nutrients, essential nutrients for the plants to grow. So I told you earlier, slurry is a liquid gel mixture, okay, and this liquid gel mixture, it contains waste, okay, and cement, coal, everything mixed together. So this can be a good manure for the vegetables or for the plants, so that we will get a good yield. So that is the importance of slurry. Now we can go on to the fourth question. What is the advantage of integrating more than one field of agriculture? What is the advantage of this integration? I told you earlier that we are using only one land area for all these farms. It's a combination of more than one farms. We are cultivating vegetables, we are cultivating paddy, yes, we are rearing the cattle. From the organic waste, from the vegetable waste and all, we are producing biogas. Okay, so what all things happening? And there is fish farm is going on in that picture. So what is the advantage means? There will be less cost. You can save a lot of money and space. Okay, this is the advantage of integrated farming. Another best example for integrated farming is that keeping a duck coop over the fish pond. You know what is the meaning of duck coop? Duck coop means the house where the duck lives. So how they both are related? The droppings from the ducks, that means the waste products obtained from the ducks, can be used as a manure for the aquatic plants. It will go straight down. The droppings will go straight down into the fish pond. So it becomes a manure for the aquatic plants, and this aquatic plants will grow properly. It will promote the growth of this aquatic plants. Then what happens? Fish depends on this aquatic plants for food. So they can get better food from there. And also many small insects, algae, this all can become a food for the duck. So this is how they both are useful. So in some particular land place, we are cultivating both. The duck, we are rearing the duck as well as the fish in the pond. So is it clear? Yes. Now next one is agriculture and cattle rearing. You can see from the picture that is how this agriculture and cattle rearing are connected to each other. I told you that cattle rearing means nothing but you are protecting and taking care for the cow, buffaloes and all. And so they can use in the paddy field for making the soil loose and for ploughing, for loosening the soil. So it is very useful for agriculture. So they are protected and cared in such a way that they can use for ploughing, loosening the soil in the agricultural field. Okay, and I told you earlier that when you grow a paddy field and all, the straw and the bran obtained from the paddy can be used as the food for this cattle. And also cattle like goat, hens and all, they are also grown in the coconut fields. Their droppings are good manure. Droppings means waste products from these animals. They are serving as a good manure for the coconut and this so that it will promote the growth of the coconut plant. So this is about integrated farming. Integrated farming is combining more than one farms over a particular land area. And it is less cost, you can time consuming, okay, less cost and all, and we don't have to search for many lands. So these are the advantages of integrated farming. So hope this is clear to you all. Okay, so we were discussing today about the crops other than food crops. Okay, we discussed many like floriculture, ornamental plants, medicinal plants, cotton, jute and coir. Then we discussed about the integrated farming. So hope this concept is clear to you. So the next topic will be taken in the next section. Till then, bye.